Hopefully we'll help you get through this last session pretty quickly. My name is Rob Froen. I'm co-founder and CEO of Kabbage. I'm here with Catherine Petralia, my co-founder and our chief operating officer. And we've done a few of these Finovates before, but in case you've never heard of Kabbage, we provide working capital to the millions of businesses that generated over more than $1 trillion in the last year. A lot of these businesses operate over platforms like Amazon, sell over a marketplace like Amazon and eBay, and operate independent online stores. The big problem all these businesses have is they have no access to capital to help them grow. So we bridge that gap. A merchant can land on our site, or a business can land on our site, go through the entire process, and receive actual cash within 7 minutes is the average. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this as we go through. So last year I stood on this stage and I was proud to announce in the days preceding FinovateEurope last year that we had just put out our 10 millionth US dollar to small businesses. I'm really excited to say that this month we will put out more than $10 million. And this year we'll put out somewhere between $175 to $200 million to businesses both in the United States and the UK. And we're here today to announce our launch of Kabbage UK. In the last few years since we started the business, there have been a few copycats that have cropped up here in the UK. But just like there's no coffee house in the world like Starbucks, there's no place for merchants to get capital like Kabbage. And so we're very happy to be here. So I'm going to go to a simple example of how our business works and actually take you through the whole process. We're going to talk about John. He operates a business on eBay, generates a fair amount of money, has been doing it for a number of years, and now needs a loan to grow. And these small businesses seek capital to buy inventory, hire employees, upgrade systems, market their products. What small businesses need to do to grow and prosper. So he goes to the Main Street banks, and they all snub him. They basically say, hey, look, you operate on eBay. The internet is a fad. So we're not going to give you any capital. And by the way, that example is an actual example from a U.S. customer of ours who went to a bank and was told that this internet thing is a fad, and that's why he couldn't get any capital, even though he was generating close to $1 million in revenue that year. So we're trying to address that. So what Catherine's going to show you right now is how we set up an account. So John goes to Kabbage.com, puts in his email address, and creates a password. And by doing that, he actually generates an account with us. Once he has an account, we actually ask him to associate different data sources, and this is what makes our platform so special, different data sources with his account. Here we're asking him to add his eBay account, and that allows us direct access to all the transaction details that have occurred over eBay for quite some time. So from a product perspective, that might be what he's selling, how often he's been selling, the price, his shipping terms, all sorts of data. There are literally 300 different data elements associated with every transaction on eBay. We also can find out how long John's been selling and what his seller rating is, and that really helps us get a good idea of that business. Once he does that, we actually then move him over to PayPal because we're all about data and getting more information. And these are processes that he is familiar with. He is going through what's called an auth and auth, which allows us to have direct access to that eBay account we just showed you, but also to his PayPal account right now. And by giving us that access, we even get deeper and better information about all the transactions that John has conducted over eBay and PayPal over the entire period of time he's been operating his store. And that allows us to not only figure out whether he is somebody that we want to provide capital to, but also whether John is who he says he is. So once he does that, we then take him over to some general information. This is literally the entire account setup process. He provides us with some personal information and a little bit of business information about the company he's operating, whether it's a limited company or a non-limited company here in the UK. And once that's submitted, we'll make a decision as to how much cash we're going to provide John in his store. In this case, we've said he can get £10,000 right now. So he can either go and get cash right now, or he can look at the dashboard. We're going to show you what the dashboard looks like. And on this dashboard, it shows the store he's added, it shows the payment source he's added, a little information that he's provided about himself, and it also, you can add other data sources, and that's a big part of what we do, Kabbage in the US and what we're doing here in the UK. For example, he can add Facebook or Twitter, or both if he operates that. Most small businesses leverage Facebook and Twitter as a virtual CRM, and that's how they keep in touch with their customers. And it was our theory that if you keep regular contact with your customers and update and respond to criticisms or comments, you're probably running a better business than somebody who is not. And we have found that people who add those sources are 19% less delinquent than those who do. Once he does that, he wants to go get some cash. So we're going to go over to the Get Cash page. We show an example payment plan. So he's going to take $10,000. This is exactly how he's going to pay us back over a period of several months. He can choose the amount of cash he wants to take in 100-pound increments all the way up to the $10,000 that we allowed him to take. And then what we're going to do is have him select that $10,000 and go and get cash. Once he does that, he's requested it, and we're going to actually generate the agreement that he's going to receive in connection with the deal he's made with us. He checks off the various boxes. And again, this is all online within a matter of seconds. He accepts the agreement, and then we take him back to PayPal. And what we do with PayPal is we have them enter into a pre-approved payment plan. And what that allows us to do is bring the cash out directly from those accounts without having to have John write a physical check. So we make it very easy for repayment. Once he does that, he agrees to that payment plan. It's approved. Then we go back to Kabbage, and you can see, if we go back to the dashboard, that he now has taken the full amount of cash that's available to him. So that's Kabbage in a nutshell. Also, one really important thing, and this is me sort of buying your vote for later. We're throwing a big party at the Walrus and the Carpenter across the way here from 7 to 10 o'clock, and I'd like to extend an invitation to all of you to come and join us and let us buy you a couple of drinks and some food. But figured this is the best way to have a captive audience to tell you about that. Anyway, thank you so much for all your time. Really appreciated showing you that, and have a great rest of the day. We'll also be out at the tables.